Today on our 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee, we're going to be taking a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail 2. Cool thing about the MonoRail 2, if your family's growing or your love for the hobby's growing, you grab another bike, you can actually add a third bike on the end of this. And there's also a single bike version available on our website too. But if you got a friend, the 2 is going to have a capacity of 60 pounds per bike. We're going to have a tire width maximum of 5. So our little cradle here is going to be great for those fat tire bikes as long as it doesn't exceed 60 pounds. I like the fact that these fold up. It's kind of convenient for storage. It's not going to be as bulky as some of the other ones that are just fixed. The CURT does that, and I just rather just have it condensed down. On the other end, we're going to have a wheel hook. So it's going to be great for our carbon fiber bikes. As you can see right here, there's no frame contact. As long as you don't have a fender on the front, you can either remove it or just find another rack. But this is a very, very popular rack, and it works really, really well. We do have a maximum wheelbase of about 48 inches and the smallest diameter wheel that we can carry. So the kids' bikes, make sure it's less than 20 inches. And for the bigger bikes, make sure it's no bigger than 29 inches. Let's go over the tilting feature. So we can keep the bikes on here while we pull this little lever. It's blue, which is nice, so you know where it is. So we can tilt this down, and then we can access the back of our hatch. There is a decent amount of room here, and we are not anywhere near the bike, so even if you have some longer, wider handlebars, it'll be good. But yeah, you can grab in here, put on your shoes and stuff like that, get everything ready, or get unready so you can head home. So there's plenty of room here, even if you're maybe just going to the store. You don't have to worry about not being able to access the back. I just like grabbing products that aren't disabling my vehicle from doing anything. So now we're just enabling it to carry some bikes, but we can still access the back. Whenever we're done with the back hatch, you just lift it up just like that. It snaps into place, and now we're ready to take the bike off the rack. I always start with the back wheel just because it doesn't really hold it upright. It just kind of helps with that vertical movement. Another little blue tab here. We're going to push this in, and then it'll slide all the way out. And as you can see, bike's still standing up. That's the only thing that's really doing. And then we can come over here. Make sure you put a hand on your bike when you do this, because it might fall into the car. Press this in, go up, fold out, and we're good. So now, we talked about how the bigger cradle condenses down, but on the other end, we actually have a pivoting little cradle, which is nice. So we have the road bikes right here, and then of course it gets a little bit wider for those wider tires. So I kind of like that. It really gives your bike a specific fit. So now what we want to do, I just like putting this down. You want to fold this down. But before I fold this up towards the vehicle, let's just see how much length we're adding. So from the bumper to the farthest point, it's about 30.5 inches. But we can use that same lever for the tilting feature to fold it up. Just like that. Not a whole lot of play. So that brings our length down to a little less than a foot. So that's not that bad at all. And the closest part would probably be the cradle or the arm, which isn't that close, but it's about 2.25 inches, but there really isn't any play there, so it's not like it's gonna hit. But it is really close to our sensors too. So with any accessory, you're gonna have that backup beeping happening just because something's in our hitch. So you can see that with any bike rack, not just the MonoRail. But also, one thing I like about this one, notice how the camera is way up here. So it might be in the backup camera a little bit, but not a whole lot. The CURT we had on here earlier was way up here and was completely blocking it. So this is definitely a plus for the MonoRail. Looking down at the shank, it's a straight 2-inch shank. Make sure you have a 2-inch hitch receiver. If you don't have a hitch receiver, definitely get a 2-inch, and we have a bunch of options here. This one just bolts it on in maybe about 15 minutes. So if you don't have one, watch my install video and grab one of these. Comes with an anti-rattle bolt on one side. That's pretty much just a threaded bolt that really secures the shank to the hitch receiver, so you're not going to hear any rattling, or your bikes aren't going to feel it whenever they go down the road. On the other end of the anti-rattle bolt, we have a little locking core, which is nice that they throw that in there. You can lock the rack to your hitch, but also there's another peg on this side, and it does come with a cable lock, so you can wrap it around your bikes and put it here, and it will be key to like with the anti-rattle lock. So you'll have one key to undo both locks, so both of your rack and your bike is going to be locked and safe. I definitely like that. With this, you really don't have to grab anything separate. If you wanted to add on, you can do that, but everything comes with the monorail, and I think that's why it's so popular, and I really do think it's going to be a great option for you. Again, this was the RockyMounts MonoRail 2 on our 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.